Mercer spends a day with the tribe. Welcome back to Writer's Theory. I'm James Winterthorne, and this is my journey of writing a novel in 90 days. Today is day 25 of writing, and I'm excited because I'm back in the groove of things. I know this chapter and what I want to achieve, and so content is easier to come by right now, which that's such a better feeling to know where you want to go with a particular part of a story versus just trying to push through and really understand your characters and your setting. Once those things are established, it's like a burden has been lifted, and writing is just so much easier. And so today, we're going to get back into it, and Mercer is going to spend the day with these people that have helped him out so much, and really just appreciate the community that he's a part of for just this brief period of time. So, well, let's get into the first part of day 25. And so here, I just wanted to have this conversation. They encourage Mercer to tell a story that's meaningful to him, and that's really the biggest direction. And that could mean a lot of things here. He's gonna have to think about the story that he wants to tell. I didn't want to jump right into it. I did want to show the setting that he's staying in just for a little bit, instead of just jump right into the storytelling. I think I teased that yesterday, so that was not entirely correct. And instead I decided here to just have him be for a while, describe the setting, have him bounce around the camp a little bit, and really focus on my descriptions here and try to show this is such a positive place for him. Yeah, don't know where the seashell came from. I think I intended that to come from somewhere, and I'll have to go back and figure out if there's significance there, what the significance of that seashell is, and that he's given it to them as a gift for that. I also have to remember that he got this doll from them, and maybe that has significance later as well. Just setting the stage here for what would be the story time setting later. So you can see they're preparing to build a big fire. So here I really just wanted to focus on description, wanted to just have a little time pass and ease into what we're going to see here next. At least in not today's writing, but I want to build up the idea of him sharing this story and hearing other stories as well. So I'm really trying to set that scene here. And that's what today's effort really has been about. So really wanted to focus on keeping descriptions good, wanted to keep a positive environment. And I think I did a pretty good job of that. So let's see if I continue with that effort and the rest of day 25. Yeah, here what I wanted to do was have some kind of explanation about how they came upon him. So he was expecting to find them the whole time, but as it turns out, they were planning on just letting him die, and then coming and taking his horse. And then I hear they said why didn't they? It's because he fed his horse first, meaning that he has a connection to the chestnut mare, and they recognize that, and that's why they ended up approaching him rather than just letting him die in the desert. And so with that, we get to learn a little bit more about Calm Watcher. This is where I decided to make him able to speak very clearly and not have it be any broken English, just because that gets difficult to sustain, and then it just looks bad too. And while it might be accurate, the way people perceive people that don't speak a language well is just generally not great. And so I didn't want that to be the case. Like, these were obviously very smart individuals. But my issue was that I needed to have good back and forth dialogue, and I just didn't really see a good way to do that without someone else that Mercer could talk to. And so that was the last effort there. We see that Calm Watcher actually speaks English very well. And so those parts where I introduced him a couple days ago, that will need to be changed later on. And that's part of this effort of just drafting, taking notes. If things don't land well or they're not working, we come back and change them later. I don't want to change it now because it'll disrupt my drafting process. So I'll come back and make those adjustments once I'm done with the entire draft. Yeah, sometimes characters aren't what you want them to be. When you're reading through them, your perception of that character isn't what you wanted to portray. And so you just need to change them. And like, that's okay. And that's what I intend to do here. So with that, let me do the line of the day. No need to practice, he says. Tell the story from here. And so this is the translation of the shaman talking to Mercer, telling him to tell the story from his own heart, not to get wrapped up in rehearsing what this story is, but instead just telling a story that's meaningful to him, and really not to worry about the story time. I think that's really what it comes down to. Even though it's like tell a story from the heart, it's like we're just telling stories. Like, have it be a fun thing that maybe has a little bit of entertainment value to it. So this is short and easy, and I like this line. So tomorrow we're gonna get into actually get into those stories, and there's gonna be 2 stories that are shared. And this is the central part of this chapter that I've been building toward, is this story time. Because, I love characters when they tell stories. So if you are enjoying this journey of mine, please like and subscribe. And if you're curious about what I'm doing here, and you're inspired to write a story, and maybe you want to write a novel and you don't know where to start with it, feel free to check out N90 Novel Roadmap. I've got a link below. YouTube viewers get a discount, so feel free to check that out. There's no pressure. You can just watch me write a novel here. No big deal. So tomorrow we'll move on. You'll watch me tell a story with people telling stories. And I'll see you then. Because I love characters when they tell stories. So